Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are... CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, because they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle end.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive part, whether he can issue The president's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, J.B. Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, J.B. Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jimmy
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he
about
get a pardon
this.
also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is...
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. You're going to condemn that pardon.
You know, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators thinking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Stably, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
End of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
LFG, MFers. Whatever. Hey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where today we have an update on this. Oh, by the way, Dawg Knight Channel, where if you need a hookup for some tickets to the Pope's funeral, I think I got your guy. I'll explain it in a moment. But anyway, hey, how y'all doing today? Happy Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025. I had to think about that for a second. I almost said 2024. 2025, where the year of our Lord and the ending of popes, at least this time. So anyway, how y'all doing? I'm having a decent morning. Got a little behind schedule, obviously, as you know, but you know what's new. But I do have what's this? Hang on. Oh, good Lord, here we go again. This stuff's killing me. Why do I look like that? Is it just me? It must be just me. This must be that guy. I don't know why that won't. Oh, there we go. There, fix. There we go. All right, whatever. Good enough. Let's get the show started because I'm late and was he just on the mend? The Pope? No, he's dead. You missed. Yes, the Pope is dead. He was. He had bronchial pneumonia or some kind of stuff, and he's 88 years old, so. It's just, it was his time to go join the Lord and whatever. So anyway, let's just start with this. We already have our first sponsor of the day, and it is none other than Gunfox 61. And you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. And he actually put it in really early this morning. Dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar and an article, which we'll get to. Also, Avocados Diabli dropping a small bullet in the tip jar. Oh, by the way, Gunfox said, yep, let's get things started off with a bang. And then Avocados Diabli said, this will explain my earlier statement. How much do you think I could scalp some tickets to the Pope's funeral if I could get my hands on some? Let's ask that question in a survey. Let's start let's see, Q&A poll. No. Here, we'll do a Q&A and you can do wrong answers only. How much would scalped Pope funeral tickets, God, I can't type for shit, tickets go for? I'm asking the question for Avocados Diabli. And if you want to give a wrong answer or a right answer, I don't care. The funnier, the better. We'll get back and we'll get an answer for that later. In fact, I'll just go look at it later. So anyway, we'll answer that question a little bit later. So, let's say hi to everybody and get this thing going. Thanks for the people sponsoring the show. If you want to sponsor the show, the best place to do it is at PDawgKnight.live. If you haven't shared the stream, please do that right now while you're thinking about it. And, like button, all that stuff that every YouTuber tells you to do that shit. We got 22 people here and 8 likes. That's a problem. I should just stay silent until there's at least 15. Come on, people. Get to work. All right, so first in the chat today, of course, is none other than Avocados Diabli and that means you get the bell. Congratulations. Also, good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg, Waxion, Puerto Rico, Resolute Germs in the house, Miss Wild Wolf. See, I'm still doing that. Wild Wolf, Tyre, Alexander. The Scourge is in the house. Good morning. Also, Bookworm Addict, welcome back. Man Squatch, what up? Attack Alpaca, Johnny Boomer Tech, that's just my guy over there. Also, JDSOB, what's up? And let's see, I said Resolute German. Oh, and an Amazing Disgrace is in the house. Also, Darren Root, welcome again. And that's everyone in the chat. If you haven't chatted yet, put something in the damn chat so I know you're here. Sound off like a hurricane. that didn't make sense. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane now. Little 80s, a little 80s hair metal for you. I don't know if I'd call them hair metal though. But anyway, also Anti-Pope Tire dropping a small, well, more than a small bullet, a 230, which is not to be confused with 420. In the tip jar, Tire says, I proudly announce that, does this need music? It might need music. Nah, never mind. I proudly announce that the Ordo Undead has made me the new anti-Pope of America. Officially, I will be busy with my transition team. This is the first time in 300 years a lich has been elected. Fucking vampires always hold that position. Well, thank you, Ty Alexander, and you are on the board. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I wouldn't call the Scorpions hair metal. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Hair metal adjacent. They're in the era, but they were kind of they're kind of their own thing. They just got kind of lumped in when, whenever the what did they call that on MTV back in the day? Like they had it was an MTV. They had Yo MTV Raps, okay, but they also had the metal show. Anyone remember what that was called? I don't know. Johnny Hellcat's in the house. Good morning. The original viewer of the Morning Night Live is here. He was the very first person to ever join a chat for this show, and I greatly appreciate you being here 6 years later. That's awesome. Headbangers Ball, that's what it was. Yeah, everyone remember Headbangers Ball? they'd put the Scorps on there. They'd put Cinderella. They'd put Motley Crue. They'd put Poison. They'd put it was a little early for Metallica. Metallica wasn't really a thing so much yet when that was on. Name your Headbangers Ball bands. Great White. That was pre-Whitesnake too. Whitesnake came out a few years after that. It was mostly 80 hair bands and hard rock bands. Cinderella, did I say Cinderella? That was one of them. Anyway, Metallica really didn't do videos before. No, they didn't. They weren't around. Rat, oh yeah, Rat for sure. Name your 80s hair bands plus the Scorpions, who are a hair band adjacent. So, I'm supposed to do that, y'all. Okay, so let's get into the show because I'm late. Let's get this done. Thank you, Tyre. Thank you, Avocado Stabby. Thank you, Gunfox61. Striper. Oh my gosh. Now that's what I would have forgotten about. What was the one that Lita Ford too? What was Vixen? Remember Vixen? They were there. Guns N' Roses. Did Guns N' Roses, were they around when Headbangers Ball was on yet? I don't think that was more, they came around in the 90s. They were kind of post hair band almost. Wasp, definitely. Rattlesnake. No, are you thinking Whitesnake? Not Rattlesnake. Was there a band called Rattlesnake? I don't remember that one. And I think Whitesnake didn't come out yet either. I think that was Whitesnake was kind of the end. Pantera, definitely. Even though it's Hello, Shrapnel, by the way. Good morning. Poison. Yeah, Poison was around for Headbangers Ball. They were on the cusp of they were still 80s. Don't recognize Angel. What was the one with that was the bald-headed guy that also Judas Priest, for example, made Headbangers Ball. Anthrax, that was another one. Anthrax for sure. Pantera wasn't Pantera wasn't at hair metal either, but they did qualify for the Headbangers Ball. Skid Row, sure, that's another one, good one. Lita Ford said she didn't want to be a sex symbol, then she made videos humping a guitar. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Testament, oh my gosh. Testament was like, they were obscure as hell. So anyway, all right. So there we go. There's your music trivia for today, and let's check the answers to how much you could get those tickets for, because I want to go ahead and dump the question. $42 in a fish. The question of the day was, how much would scalped Pope funeral tickets go for? To which Avocado said $42 in a fish. Oh, damn, a resolute germ. $666.
I see dead people.
Darren Ruth says tickets are half off if you bring a choir boy. Oh, shit. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Oh, my. And oh, so right. I'm not going to play that music because I can't do it not for a fucking choir boy. Nope, we're not doing it. And then Ty Alexander said, I wouldn't. I am invited. Oh, you wouldn't have to buy them. There you go. Every firstborn son in the village. So there you go. All right, enough of that question. Question's going away. Thank you for those who took the time to answer the question of the day. So there you go. I probably should do that question thing more often. It's kind of fun to hear your answers and not just use it for Friday Q&A. Because it's a lot easier just reading those than answering the questions you send me on Friday Q&A. All right, let's get into the news. Today is, Lord Almighty, it is Earth Day. And I haven't even scrolled down to see what people have been writing about Earth Day. Let's see. Someone says, good Tuesday morning. And everybody, this is the top one. Everyone knows who, this is good. Hello. Oh, by the way, special can't ask you morning. On the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians. Whoa, what the hell's going on there? Well, that doesn't work. Maybe I should figure this out. What did I do? I thought I had this all set up. Hang on. Let me fix that. We got a whole lot of nothing. Okay, there we go. All right, that'll work now. So today is Earth Day, and the top post on here right now, good Tuesday morning to everybody who knows that cow farts are not causing climate change. Eat more beef. Happy Earth Day. I concur. There you go. Very good. Then some down here, Earth Day, live, love, be kind. One day you'll eat your last meal, smell your last flowers, hug your friend for the very last time. You might not know it's the last time, so that's why you should do everything you love with passion. Okay. These aren't necessarily Earth Day messages. I was looking for like some granola eating motherfucker trying to tell me how to live my life. Oh, here's wait a minute. Vanessa Nader T80085. People after tweeting about Earth Day today. Oh, thinking they're super special. Yeah, that's true. So anyway, frankly, I was going to say, fuck this planet. But no, it's the only one we got. We should at least try to keep it somewhat clean. But I don't think we're all going to, die from, let's see, what is it? Global cooling, global warming, ozone layer, running out of petroleum, this and that, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, how about this one? This is Magami. Happy Earth Day. It's a good day to think about damage caused by the climate scams. Solar farms and windmills harm the environment more than they would ever have helped. They have never been anything but a money laundering scheme. Prove me wrong and have a nice day in nature. Well, I do have a story about, did I put it out here though? About these solar farms. There's one in particular that is causing controversy. So anyway, now besides being Earth Day, it is also Lesbian Visibility Week. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen a lesbian, you're likely to see some this week. And not in a good way. Oops. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Lesbian Visibility Week. Oh, yeah. Nobody. So, so celebrate by checking out some girl on girl action on your famed porn site. I don't know. Anyway, someone says here, a day without lesbians is like a day without sunshine. Yeah, I don't know about that. Now I have relatives who are gay and lesbian. Are just fine. In fact, one of my favorite relatives is a lesbian, and she's the coolest person on the planet. But I don't even think she would put this. I don't think she would throw this message out there. Now that I think about it, it's just like, well, who cares who you're having? Who cares who you're fucking? And also, the other thing is, why is it that every other fucking day and every other week has something to do with some LGBTQ shit? You have Pride Week, you have Lesbian Visibility Day, you have Trans Visibility Day, this and that, blah, trans awareness, and this and that, yada, yada, yada. I no longer care. Live your life and leave me the fuck alone. I don't care. In fact, look, I don't even care. I don't care. Avocats Diabli, thank you for dropping another small bulletin tip jar saying, you forgot the most important thing that happened today. It's Monkey's birthday, though it is fitting it is on Lesbian Visibility Day, with his gay hair and all. Well, I've never seen Monkey's birthday, but I have to wish my friend happy birthday. I didn't realize it was his birthday today. I didn't see his show last night, and so yeah. If you know Ranting Monkey or interact with him on the internet, be sure to wish our friend Ranting Monkey happy birthday today. Also, good morning. Keebler is in the house. What's up? And Gun Fox is here. How you doing? The amazing administrator of the PDawgKnight Discord server. And I got the article that you sent me that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. So thank you very much. There you go. So anyway, Lesbian Visibility Day. Now, one thing that happened regarding, Lesbian Visibility Week, because see, they get a week. Lesbians get a week. And then they also get a month in, is it July or August? They get, the whole Pride Month is June, right? They get the Pride Month. They get Lesbian Visibility Week. And I'm sure there'll be some ode to scissors or something later in August, and then there'll be another thing in September or whatever. I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, the governor of Oregon posted something about Lesbian Visibility Week. Let me see if I can find that, because here it is. The governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek, which is a little bit too close to sanitary product name. Anyway, Governor Tina Kotek said, in case you missed it, I'm one of 2 lesbians who hold the title of governor in the United States. Guess what? I'll bet you everybody in the state of Oregon has no choice but to never miss it, because I'm sure you mention it hundreds of times every month. But anyway, she continues, I'm proud to live in and serve in a state where every person can be their authentic selves. I'm trying to figure out what state you can't live and be your authentic self. Because you're your only self, unless you're faking it. And then how can you fake being yourself? So shut the fuck up. Nobody cares that you're a lesbian. We're far beyond that point, and nobody cares. If you're a good governor, you're a good governor. If you suck, and I don't mean in a good kind of way, you suck. So there. I don't care. And lots of people are saying things like that to her. There, for example, okay, let's look at the comments against her, not with her, against her, whatever. Governor, it's 2025 and no one cares who you sleep with. What are you doing to stop Trump? Oh, well, there you go. Even that. Someone here, imagine telling George Washington, we have a scissoring governor. Laughing my ass off. I probably shouldn't have said that one out loud, but it's YouTube and they may not even notice because they suppress me anyway. So fuck YouTube. Anyway, what do you think about lesbian spaces? Female only and exclusive? I bet she doesn't. I bet she's one of these, put the guys with the dicks who call themselves lesbians in the low-end locker room. So I don't care that she's a lesbian. Is that like her, the most important part of her identity? I don't know. Who cares? Enough. Okay, enough. Whatever. Oh, by the way, here I'll put the special message for Lesbian Visibility Week. Specifically, I think this gentleman posted this for Avocados Diabli. There you go. Happy Lesbian Visibility Week. There you go. That's from some movie or something where the girl started kissing in the pool, and Everyone got hot and bothered, especially the lesbians. So there you go. All right, there you go. Happy Lesbian Visibility Week. Let's get into some articles. Let's do this one that Gunfox sent me first. What movie is that scene from? Was that is it Dangerous Minds, or what was that called? What was that movie? Anybody off the top of their head? Wasn't it about the kids at the school who were trying to screw somebody over? I don't remember. Who knows the name of that movie? Not even in the top 100 reasons they wanted her removed from office. She's destroying Oregon like it was her job. Yeah, boy, oh boy, I'm curious if they're... Now, guess what? If she... that was from Wild Things. Yeah, thank you, Lady Kara, by the way. Welcome. And also Godzilla, good morning. Wild Things. I thought it was the other one. What was the other one with... Wild Things was the one with Matt Damon, right? I can't remember. Okay. It's not Weekend at Bernie's. Come on now. All right. Let's see. What was I talking about? Well, I don't remember. So let's just read this article. Southern California mayor. This is, by the way, this is the one that Gunfox sent me. By the way, welcome, Lady Kara. It's nice to have you back. I didn't know you were here. You must have just be here to answer questions. That's cool. I like that. So there you go. Anyway, here's the first article that Gunfox sent me. We'll get this one out of the way. Southern California mayor says he wants to purge the homeless population by giving them all the fentanyl he wants. Oh, no. Whoa, that was weird. Did that suddenly get quieter? Wait. What happened there? Let me play it again. Oh, it did. Okay. That was weird. Oh, there it goes. Okay, anyway, Southern California mayor says he wants to purge homeless population by giving them all the fentanyl they want. I see nothing wrong with that solution. Holy shit. Can I just identify as homeless even though I am not going to get free drugs? Well, I don't know. We'll see. A Southern California mayor is under fire for wanting to eliminate his city's homeless population by giving them all the fentanyl they want. A shocking remark he reinforced by calling for a federal purge. Lancaster Mayor his name is R. Rex Paris. That's a little bit too much. Shared his controversial views during a September 25th city council meeting when a resident took issue with the city's attempt to address the homeless crisis by, quote, enclosing, end quote, the unhoused at an abandoned golf course near a residential neighborhood. Hello, Evan S., by the way. Quote, what I want to do is give them free fentanyl, end quote, Paris said as he interrupted the woman's comments, according to footage of the meeting. I want video. I want to hear him say it out loud. I mean, let's see, let's continue. There's not even a clip of him saying it. So anyway, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to give them all the fentanyl they want. The jolted resident told the Republican his statement was not kind. Yeah, I always thought giving free shit to people was kind. I don't know. But Paris, who's been mayor since 2008, has no regrets about wanting to give the homeless people the highly addictive, often lethal opioid, telling Fox LA in an interview Friday that he was referring to unhoused criminals who refuse to be helped. I made it very clear I was talking about the criminal element that were let out of the prisons that have now become 40 to 45% of what's referred to as the homeless population, Paris told the outlet. They are responsible for most of our robberies, most of our rapes, most of our, at least half of our murders, without offering proof or data supporting his claims. Oh, it must be an MSM article when they say without proof. No, it was the New York Post. Anyway, let's see. There's nothing that we can do for these people. Paris added that he didn't think anyone would take his comments literally, explaining that fentanyl is so easy to get in the streets that it wouldn't have made a difference if the city gave it away for free. He touted Lancaster for providing more innovative solutions to the homeless population than any other city in America before calling for a federal purge. Quite frankly, I wish the president would give us a purge because we need to purge these people. Oh, Lord. Now, is it harsh? Of course it's harsh, but it's my obligation to the city of Lancaster to protect hardworking families that live here or there, whatever, and I'm no longer able to do it. It's an untenable situation, and I'm open to any solution. I want these people out of our city. So, there's a little more there, but I'm not going to read the rest. So there, that is, well, let's look. You want innovative solutions? That would be extra special in what did I say? Innovative? Yeah, there you go. Good morning, Jethro Hetero. Nice to have you in the chat. All right, moving on. Apparently, other news, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was robbed at a D.C. restaurant. Man, you're the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, and you just endangered D.C. She was robbed at a restaurant in Washington, D.C. over Easter weekend. The secretary's purse containing $3,000 in cash. Why do you have $3,000 in cash? Kristi Noem, her passport, makeup bag, which, wait a minute. I thought they said it was her purse, not her backpack. DHS access card, apartment key, and other belongings was snatched from her table by a masked man. ABC News reported Noem was taking her family out to enjoy Easter festivities in the city when the suspect grabbed her bag and left the establishment. This is CNN reported that Secret Service officials identified the suspect as an unknown white man wearing a medical mask after reviewing security footage. When asked about the incident at the White House Easter egg roll on Monday, Noem said the theft has not yet been solved. The outlet noted that her medication was in the stolen bag as well. Secret Service investigation ongoing. Now, which begs the question, what kind of medication is Kristi Noem taking? Look, I like Kristi Noem. I think she was a pretty good governor of South Dakota, and she's a fine individual as far as, what she does. But I could also joke, what medication was she taking? Was that her Botox injections? I don't know. Anyway, Sarah, I shouldn't say that shit. I'm sounding like a liberal. Anyway, she can grab my bag. Damn. So yeah, she's they're here. Here's the picture for you guys. What do you call that when you're not drooling? You call it thirsting. For the thirsty among us, there's a shot of the lovely DHS secretary. In other news, this is out of Front Page. Now, when I saw this, I was thinking, damn! Oh, before I get there, thank you, Avocados Diablo, another small bullet in the tip jar, who says, Noem's purse was returned with all the contents still in the bag, but the spare panties she carries were mysteriously nowhere to be found. Oh, wait a minute. They haven't reported on that yet, AD. Do you live in Washington, D.C.? Just saying. All right, moving on. This one tripped me out because I couldn't imagine, but I'm sure this will be coming to Minneapolis and St. Paul soon. Los Angeles raises their sales tax to 11% over the stolen homeless billions. What? So they have a special homeless tax in Los Angeles of 11. I guess they add on to their sales tax. In Los Angeles County, spring is in the air and so are higher taxes beyond the usual punishing ritual. On April 15th, county residents also now face some of the highest sales taxes in the country. Sales taxes in the area have shot up from 9.75% to as high as 11.25% to fund still more services for the homeless. The permanent sales tax increase is supposed to raise $1 billion a year to replace the stolen billion spent by Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. Families will pay even more for food so that LA's politicians and nonprofits can steal even more. In 2016 and 17, LA voters approved $4.6 billion in homeless tax hikes on themselves. That included a sales tax increase and Measure HHH, not to be confused with Triple H, a $1.2 billion bond measure to build more than 10,000 housing units for the homeless. That, taken together, were supposed to end homelessness. Guess what? How many units do you think they've built in Los Angeles? I'm guaranteeing it's nowhere close to 10,000. And a lot of that money ends up in NGOs that somehow the NGOs that, we know about, that's the Minneapolis. But anyway, we know how that works. That money just gets filtered out until there's nothing left of it. Someone says, we need to seize the opportunity to make good things happen. Los Angeles County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas promised at a victory party for the massive spending package. It is very, very important that we do this work in a way that voters of the city feel they have done something good, and going forward, they will be rewarded by our results. The results are more people on the street every year in Los Angeles, because they make it easier and easier to be homeless, and it's just a shithole there. Anyway, Ridley Thomas, who led America's homeless policies, who led LA's homeless policies and championed HHH, was charged with bribery and corruption after his... Oh my God. Oh.
Your life makes me sad.
He was charged with bribery and corruption after his arrest. Ridley Thomas vowed that he would continue addressing the homeless and housing crisis. Well, from jail, the charges against the close ally of Mayor Karen Bass involved a scheme in the same USC social work school that also gave Bass a free, unsolicited $95,000 tuition award. Ridley Thomas was sentenced to 42 months in prison, but continues appearing at public events with Mayor Bass while appealing his conviction. So he's in the middle of appeal. He's been convicted, and they're still going to give him another, how many billions? $4.6 billion to work with. Oh my God, that's Los Angeles for you. There's more, but I'm not reading anymore. It makes me sick. And can you imagine 11.25% sales tax? I mean, that's going to be more than that's a bigger increase than the tariffs, because the tariffs are on the pre-retail good, the wholesale good, the whatever across the ocean goods. That's insane. 10,000, hell, they never even got 10. They didn't get shit for that. You guarantee it. All right. Some other things. Thank you, Reaction Puerto Rico, sent me this one, which I saw this one earlier today. So the Maryland dad, Gremio Garcia, or whatever his name is, Kilmar, he even has Kill in his name, Kilmar, the senator from Maryland went down to see Kilmar down in El Salvador. I almost said Ecuador. El Salvador. And so there's an interesting little thing it's on Fox News, so you know it's the Antichrist. But anyway, Fox News had this reporter go out and ask Maryland residents what they thought of Kilmar going and seeing Mr. Garcia, and they were very good about getting residents of color to see what they think about their governor going down to see Kilmar. So I thought this was pretty good. Here we go.
He was living in Maryland, designated MS-13 terrorist, and Donald Trump deported him. How does that make you feel?
I feel safer.
He gotta go.
He got to go.
He
need to go. I mean, that's it.
But he was a father.
Oh. But he's still a terrorist.
Okay. I mean, but there's children living without fathers now.
He should have picked and choose, so he picked to be a terrorist instead of worrying about his children.
The Democrats, they want him back. They say he was wrongfully deported. He has a wife and a kid who's a citizen. They're calling this a national
Sounds
emergency.
like these Maryland residents.
I wouldn't call it national emergency. We got more things going on.
We have more things, more fish to fry.
I just found out about it, so I don't think so. What kind of national emergency? For what? What is the emergency for?
Ain't no national emergency, no.
He was accused of hitting his wife twice and was a suspected human smuggler. Was he wrongfully deported?
No. He need to go.
Send that bitch. He got to go.
He needs to be deported.
It's better.
He got to go.
Safe than sorry.
Your senator here, Chris Van Hollen, he flew to El Salvador where this guy was deported. He met with him. had lunch with them, had margaritas on the table. What's up with your senator?
I have no idea, but I do believe that was a waste of taxpayer dollars.
Margaritas.
Okay, now we know the margarita thing was false. They set him up on that margarita thing. We know that's fake, but it's whatever. It's still the optics of him sitting there with an alleged MS-13 member in El Salvador when there's so many Americans that need help here. And, you know, I guarantee you not one of these people going down, because now some more congressmen are going to go down there. I guarantee you none of them have been to Gaza. I guarantee you none of them have helped any of the people in the streets of Los Angeles for that, causing the people there to have an 11% sales tax. I see Resolute Germ not shocked by 11% sales tax in Atlanta. We pay just over 10% in Seattle. My God! And again, I know that Oregon has, and California, both, they have income tax, they have sales tax, they have death tax, they have this tax, they have tax when you spend it in this, you know, you buy something, you get taxed on it, but if you sell it at a garage sale, they expect you to pay tax on what you make at the garage sale on stuff that you already paid tax on when you bought it. It's like, I'm surprised they don't have people like tax people running around to garage sales trying to collect sales tax when you sell something at a garage sale. It's just crazy. Good morning, Woodcutter. What's up? Oregon does not have sales tax? Wait a minute. Oh, Washington. I'm sorry. In Washington. Excuse me. I meant Washington, not Oregon. Anyway, okay. So good morning. And good morning, Woodcutter. Nice to have you. Anyway.
Whooping their wife, terrorizing where you live, then you don't need to live here either.
Senator Van Hollen, you need to come see me, Mr. Coley, because you doing like that. You need to take care home before you go to other states.
He went to El Salvador.
Oh, that's another country. Excuse me.
What has Senator Chris Van Hollen ever done for you?
He ain't done shit.
Nothing. For me? Nothing.
Nothing that I know of.
He ain't do me. I can admit that.
I've never even heard of this person.
Do you want Kilmore?
Anyway, the video will be in the links today. You get the gist of it. Now, granted, there's a lot of these man on the street interviews when people do this, whether on the right or the left, they tend to present the ones that fit their narrative. But still, I'm sure if you went around to just any neighborhood in Maryland or in Baltimore and you told them their senator was down in Ecuador trying to bring back an illegal alien, they'd be like, what the fuck? You didn't even bring back Cousin Pookie from the Huskow. So anyway, all right. Other things. U.S. in the news. U.S.-India trade talks began during his visit to India. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance announced that the United States and India have finalized the terms of reference for trade negotiations, aiming for a comprehensive trade agreement. This announcement was made in context of Vance's visit, where he met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other Indian leaders. The discussion highlighted mutual respect and shared vision for economic growth between the two nations, focusing on job creation, durable supply chains, blah, 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 blah. So, and here is J.D. Vance announcing that the United States and India have officially agreed on the terms. Here we go. This is short, so we can play it.
As many of you are aware, both of our governments are hard at work on a trade agreement built on shared priorities, like creating new
like fucking over China. I'm sure that's one of them.
jobs.
Because, you know, a lot of that work that used to be done in India is being done in China now. So it's like, well, fuck it. Let's move that shit to India and see if we can make a better deal.
Building durable supply chains and achieving prosperity for our workers. In our meeting yesterday, Prime Minister Modi and I made very good progress on all of those points. And we are especially excited to formally announce that America and India have officially finalized the terms of reference for the trade negotiation. I think this is a vital step. Thank you. I believe this is a vital step toward realizing President Trump's and Prime Minister Modi's vision, because it sets a roadmap toward a final deal between our nations. As many of you are aware, both of our governments are hard at work on a trade.
Okay, we already saw that part. So anyway, there you go. So good for that. I mean, I hope all this trade tariff and stuff, brouhaha, works out great for us. You know, I get tired of the people who are rooting against us. And then also JD Vance is trending. Speaking of JD Vance, people still talking about him and the Pope. And I just thought, I thought this was funny. This is a meme, or no, Babylon Bee article. Dalai Lama quietly cancels scheduled meeting with JD Vance. I remember the little Grim Reaper thing we did yesterday. That was funny. Also, there's a question. Who should JD Vance visit next? You got Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and Barack Obama. Any nominees for who JD Vance should visit next? Just drop a name in the chat. Hello, Damme O'Leary. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. So there you go. Moving on. Also, Pete Hegseth is in the news again because they're a concerted effort to knock Pete Hegseth out of the Secretary of Defense position by Democrats who are pissed off. Matt Walsh, though, had this to say: I love the Pete Hegseth pick initially, but now after seeing this unrelenting campaign to smear and destroy him, I love the pick even more. We all need to rally around him. This coordinated hit job cannot be allowed to succeed. Because apparently he had another Signal chat that they said he was on with his wife and his brother or something, and said something about some strikes in Yemen. And so people are like, oh, he was on Signal giving up classified information, whatever. And also, but I found this funny too. Oh no, Pete Hegseth had a Signal chat with his wife. Meanwhile, the Democrats, picture of Jill Biden saying prepping for the G7. Yeah. Why was she prepping for the G7 with her head in notebooks? Anyway, and Sean Davis adds, we know more about Pete Hegseth's Signal chats than we do about two of Trump would-be assassins. Oh, snap. There you go. So anyway, there's Pete Hegseth and his, how many kids he has? 7 kids? Good God, man. Condoms, brother. Condoms. He might be Catholic. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, interesting article in PJ Media here. Is the coup against Pete Hegseth brewing at the Pentagon? Something tells me that liberal media is trying to force Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth from the Pentagon. According to a report from Politico, the Pentagon has become a chaotic mess because of Hegseth's alleged influence, and it's becoming a problem for the administration. Quote, it's been a month of total chaos at the Pentagon, from leaks of sensitive operational plans to mass firings. The dysfunction is now a major distraction for the president, who deserves better from his senior leadership. The article claims, this is Politico, and so it's a claim, probably without sources. President Donald Trump has a strong record of holding his top officials to account, given that it's hard to see Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth remaining in his role for much longer. Now, they continue because of what I would expect to see. Good morning, Selected Boy.
Yeah, boy.
They continue, though. It's a claim so ludicrous that you almost have to appreciate the creative writing involved. What's the evidence? Few anonymous complaints and a spin cycle that would make a laundromat envious? John Ulyat, the writer of the article, claims that he's a Hegseth supporter, yet the Pentagon recently asked him to resign. So I'm sure he doesn't have an axe to grind, but let's take a look at what he's claiming. Anyway, according to Ulyat, the Pentagon is in disarray under Hegseth's leadership. Now, how could that be? Curiously, to prove the point, he cites the Signalgate kerfuffle as evidence of the chaos, not the successful mission against the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Despite his repeated claims of supporting Hegseth, his narrative sounds like it was lifted straight from the Democratic playbook. I suspect he leans on his supposed backing of Hegseth, not out of conviction, but as a shield to lend credibility to what amounts to be a repackaged left-wing hit job on the Pentagon, and that would be spot on. So anyway, it sounds like, what's the word? Bullshit. Anyway. All right. Let me get it. I want to go. Signal's also trending because of Pete Hegseth. Whatever. We'll skip that. And let's get into the topic of these two gentlemen, though, in the thumbnail here. I haven't really talked about Nick Rekieta in a while. I got a text from him not too long ago when I was watching Aaron's show, the Steel Toe Morning, or I was listening to the Steel Toe Morning Show. I made a comment on the Steel Toe Morning Show, and Nick out of the blue texted me, which because he and I are acquaintances now, and we text each other every once in a while. And I worry about the guy. He's been nothing but kind to me, but he really kind of screwed up his life, and we all know that, and we know the story. There have been updates on a couple stories regarding, though, Aaron Imholte and Nick Rekieta, so that happened last week. So let's get into those. First, let's start with Aaron. Aaron, who was a party to the foursome thing that they were doing and all that weird shit, and then they decided that needed to end. Rekieta and Bronca are streaming the Karen Reed trial. Yeah, I know that. They're streaming a trial right now. Well, let's start with Aaron. Aaron got in a little trouble because during his show, he sent his friend some nude pictures of somebody. I'm not even sure who. Minnesota-based podcast host and YouTuber Aaron Imholte pleaded guilty on Friday to sharing a nude photo of a woman without her consent. And I'm still friendly with Aaron. I'm still friendly with Nick. Friendly is a different word. Neither of them hate me because I don't take sides on this. Occasionally I watch Aaron's show, and I'm still, if I could get Nick on my show, I would do that just to try to let him try and explain himself. And I would, although what he did was, to me, reprehensible. And I pray that he learns from it. We'll get to the update on him, too, in a minute. Anyway, Minnesota podcaster pleads guilty to sharing nude photo without consent. A Minnesota-based podcaster and YouTube personality has pleaded guilty to sharing a nude photo of a woman without her consent. In Stearns County on Thursday, St. Cloud podcaster Aaron Imholte, 38, entered a guilty plea to a misdemeanor count of non-consensual dissemination of private sexual images. As a part of the agreement, a felony count was dismissed. So this was a plea bargain. Imholte was charged with the crime back in August, just days after he pleaded guilty, and was sentenced in another case where he was accused of violating a harassment restraining order in Sherburne County. Imholte was set to face trial next month. In the photo case, a sentencing date has not been set. The backstory: Imholte hosts the Steel Toe Morning Show on YouTube. His channel has about 13,000 subscribers on YouTube and another 4,000 on Rumble. In May, while hosting a show, Imholte allegedly sent a nude image of the woman to a guest on the show. The charges state that two men discussed the nude photo on air, which allegedly showed the victim topless. The situation is connected to a relationship Imholte and his ex-wife had with fellow Minnesota YouTuber Nick Rekieta and his wife. That relationship disintegrated, leading to Imholte regularly commenting on Rekieta's on his show and making what prosecutors called concerning, quote unquote, and harassing remarks. There's a whole lot of messed up shit going on. I'm surprised that you can, sharing it with one person. I suppose they shared it while on the air. The picture was never on the air, but they were talking about it on the air. Maybe that's the problem. I wouldn't want that happening to me either, but, don't send nude pics or give nude pics to anybody because you never know what they're going to do with it. Anyway, he said, in May, I sent that picture to the guest. Imholte explained, I sent it to the guest because I was a fucking dumb guy in a shitty place. And I'm they have these in brackets, expletive in a bad place. Yeah, I was a fucking dumb guy in a shitty place. When I said, boy didn't do too bad, did he? That was a guy who was looking for a little validation from a friend. I cannot urge you against something like that more. Imholte also complimented prosecutors, saying he felt they treated him professionally and fairly throughout the legal process. So under the plea agreement, Imholte is not slated to face time behind bars. In the previous harassment case, Imholte was placed on probation. It's unclear if the recent conviction will impact his probation. Speaking on a show, Imholte indicated he was told if he stayed out of further trouble, he'd be fine. So there you go. That's the Aaron's resolution to the story, so to speak. And there's another one. This one's in the Fox 9. That was the local story. It's also in the Fox 9 story, which is the local Fox affiliate in the Twin Cities. Then we move on to Rekieta. Nick Rekieta has been sentenced in his case where he pled guilty. And there's a whole bunch of people talking about Nick right now. But let's go to the resolution here. And Spicer Attorney, Spicer's the small town that Nick lives near. And YouTuber Nick Rekieta is sentenced to 30 days in jail on a drug charge. Well, in Minnesota, YouTuber and Spicer Attorney Nick Rekieta was sentenced on a drug charge in Ojai County District Court Friday evening. This was this past Friday, by the way. Judge Stephen Wenzel gave Rekieta 44 a sentence of 30 days in Ojai County Jail and gave him credit for 2 days already served. He also placed Rekieta on 5 years probation and ordered him to perform 80 hours of community service. In January, Rekieta pleaded guilty to a third-degree drug charge for possessing more than 10 grams of cocaine. The drugs were discovered after a search warrant was served at his rural Spicer home May 23rd last year. Rekieta's YouTube program, Rekieta Law, had a large following, well, still kind of does, as he dissected high-profile legal cases with legal insight and humor. On YouTube program Camelot 331 3 months ago, Rekieta talked about regrets and responsibility for his behavior and arrest, which I had not, I guess I missed that part. Now there's a bigger article in Fox 9, which is also, again, the local Fox affiliate. And let's see. Now this one tries to take it up a notch. A YouTube attorney with more than 420,000 subscribers will serve just under a month in jail after pleading guilty of drug possession in January. I think the thing in jail, I think they may have suspended that too. And if he breaks his probation, then he will spend his time in jail. Hello, Eagle, by the way. What's up? Not shared boobs. Oh, no, shared boobs, the travesty. Yeah, a bad place. Was Rackets sharing his stash with him? Yeah, well, that was one thing that Aaron said he never did. He never got into the drug part of it. Maybe that's why he was able to pull himself out of it and not be a part of as much. He pulled himself away from that, and then when his wife stayed and kept participating in the drug part, that's kind of how that whole relationship blew up. Anyway, here it is. Nicholas Robert Rekieta, 43, was sentenced to 28 days in jail for 5 years probation. On Friday, he was given 2 days of credit for time already served and is due to report. Oh, he doesn't report to jail till August 1st. That's why he's able to stream a trial right now. At 7 p.m., court documents state he must also serve 80 hours of community service. Under the agreement, his probation officer can request the jail time be deferred if he follows the term of his probation. So they haven't decided that, and a judge would still need to approve the request. Probation conditions show he must submit to random drug and alcohol testing, and he is not allowed to possess firearms. So he's got to get rid of his guns. Rekieta pleaded guilty to a third-degree drug possession earlier this year as part of a deal with prosecutors that includes a stay of adjudication, which means the case will be dismissed without any conviction on his record if probation is successfully completed, which means he may not have to lose his law license over that. The plea deal included dismissal of a child endangerment charge as well as a charge of possessing firearms as a user of a controlled substance. Court records show the same charges against his wife, Christine Rekieta, were dismissed by the prosecutor. So her charges were completely dismissed. State database record explicitly state Rekieta is not authorized to practice law in Minnesota. So that is so much for that. I think he let his law license lapse anyway. What they're saying, I don't know who they are, but appearing on another YouTube's channel, Rekieta admitted to using cocaine and making mistakes. I made a shitload of really bad decisions. Yeah, yes, you did, Nick. And I'm praying that you learn from the experience. And I have to deal with it for the rest of my life, that I harm some of the people who are closest to me. That's a product of me and losing control. Rekieta also claims he's no longer using cocaine. Investigators say they found drug paraphernalia, including 3 small baggies that tested positive for cocaine, 8 green tablets that tested positive for ketamine, and a digital scale with several other items that tested positive for cocaine inside Rekieta's home. And I know there was some speculation that he might have been dealing. I'm not going to. That's all speculation. I'm not even going to go there. Rekieta, a Minnesota attorney based in Spicer, has more than 420,000 subscribers and millions of views on YouTube. Rekieta drove his viewership during the high-profile trial of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard in 2022 and the Kyle Rittenhouse trial in Wisconsin back in 2021. Briefs filed by the defense in Kayla Rekieta's case back in December alleged that the case emerged from church rumors about the Rekietas. According to the brief, the rumors included concerns about child neglect, drug use by the Rekietas, and a questionable relationship with an additional couple, Aaron and April Imholte. And then they got the line about Aaron Imholte pleading guilty to sharing nude photos. So, that's the resolution at this point. And August 1st, apparently, Nick will be showing up at jail unless the judge says deferring this as long as he stays out of trouble would be okay. I guess we'll find that out later. Questions that I see in the chat here. Good one. Good. One less shitty lawyer. Oh, boy. His jail time is deferred according to his stream the other day. Well, it's deferred to August 1st. I don't know if they will be able to defer it further or not, but yeah, that's a good interesting. I didn't see a stream, so I guess I'll have to go check that. I hear he's rich from inheritance. I don't know for sure. I know his parents are supposed to be wealthy, but that's neither here nor there. I hope that some of the money he made from all his streaming was put away, though, because this shit's costing him a shit ton of money. I guarantee it. I know that there is, well, I don't know. I don't know any, I can't, anything I've heard is all internet rumors, so I don't know. Man, what a downfall Rekieta had. Yeesh. Yeah. And again, I truly hope he turns it around. Like I said, Nick has been nothing but kind to me. You know, I was at it's funny because I was at the comedy show where him and Aaron was the host. And he was one of the people who in the lineup. And I think that's when that relationship started. So because Aaron even said to me once in his chat, he's like, yeah, you were there for the downfall or the beginning of the downfall. And I'm like, oh, that's where it began. Oh shit. I'm not going to any more comedy shows, I guess. So anyway, if I have no respect for him, that's fair. I mean, you don't have to. And I certainly I condemn what he did, but I pray that he stays healthy and be better, and his family, you know, gets through this in a positive way. It's tough though, because you know, people do what they do, and it's hard. It's easy to fall back into if you don't really do some work. So I hope so that everything goes well for Nick. All right, let's move on. I have a few videos that a couple of them I want to see here or show. This one's 5 minutes long. I can't do this one. I'll just put them in the links, but there's a bill in Colorado. Well, here, let's just do the intro of this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. But this one's a little disturbing as far as a bill that they're trying to push through in Colorado, and I'll skip the full interview part of it. But let's check this out, because this is one of these things that just pissed me off. And
controversial Colorado bill is headed for the state Senate as Republicans are fighting to block it. That measure would add misgendering and dead naming, or calling your child by the name you gave it at birth, as acts of discrimination. It would also allow courts to consider these acts during child custody hearings. Here's the state's Republican House Minority Leader.
We have a God-given right as parents to raise our children in accordance with our values. And basically, the offense on this bill is the attack on parental rights, that if you don't follow a certain ideology, that you can be in violation of discrimination. And it's just a bridge too far for parents. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or unaffiliated. Parental rights is an issue that transcends party lines.
So anyway, they're making it illegal for parents to misgender their own child, as in it gives basically children the power to determine how their parents treat them or talk to them. And I know this is happening in a lot of states. I know it happened in cases in California, Washington State, Minnesota. They can take your kids away from you if you don't go along with the kids' trans identity. This is Colorado, Tyre. It's in Colorado. And I have no idea why they think this is an okay law to pass. That your minor children can have this power over you. The little girl was suspended from school because she called another girl by her real name and the other kid called her all sorts of names. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. These kinds of laws are insane. We'll go just a little more of this.
Two moms, one from Colorado, wrote this opinion piece saying their daughters went through a phase of believing they were boys a few years ago, reaffirming their biological female.
And remember, it's a phase. And the problem is a lot of these places, schools will send you, oh, you think you're the opposite sex? Here, let us help you with this. Let's give you some clothes and we'll call you by the right names. We'll send you to the counselor who maybe will be able to refer you to, a doctor who after 1 second of visiting with you will offer you to go on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. In some states, that actually happens. And it's insane.
Male identities now. They write, quote, a bill under consideration in Colorado would define parents like us as child abusers. It is an assault on reality and on the foundational freedom that makes the United States a beacon of liberty. Erin Lee is a mom, and we welcome...
Okay, I don't need to see the interviews, but that's going on in Colorado right now. If you want to watch the entire interview of this, it's a short video, 5 minutes long. But that was one of the ones I had. Let's see, I had another one here. Oh, we were talking about the solar power scam. Well, this is something that happened in California, which doesn't surprise me. Think Solyndra, think all these companies that take federal money. And this is a video by Reason TV.
Why did the government fund a 5-square-mile laser death ray that kills 6,000 birds a year? That is Ivanpah, a solar farm in the Mojave Desert. And the bird apocalypse isn't even the biggest part of this boondoggle. So 15...
Wait a minute. I didn't notice this before. I just noticed it just now. I dig her boots. I don't know why I said that. Anyway.
So 15 years ago, Google, NRG Energy, and BrightSource Energy got together for this idea. They would sell solar power to PG&E and California Edison until 2039. But they needed funding. So Bechtel, who's a big government contractor, helped them get a $1.6 billion loan from the Department of Energy.
$1.6 billion with a B.
350,000 of them, and each one is the size of a garage door. They reflect sunlight onto boilers 450 feet high as part of the solar thermal process. The project promised to create 1,000 construction jobs and power 140,000 homes. And that
140,000. Wait a minute. A solar farm that's supposed to power 140,000 homes. How many think you they actually got to? And how reliable do you think it is? I wonder if there are any clouds in the Mojave Desert ever.
Everyone would benefit, from workers and local communities to politicians pushing green energy. Now, the facility opened in 2014, and it didn't take long to realize that mirrors attract bugs and birds eat bugs, and mirrors themselves get really hot. The reflected rays at Ivanpah literally singed birds to death mid-air, leaving clouds of smoke
like
called
lasers.
streamers. The project was also terrible for desert tortoises and destroyed irreplaceable, pristine desert habitat. But the real problem was about power. Ivanpah only operated at half capacity. Apparently, officials hadn't considered things like weather or equipment challenges impacting energy production. You know, like they should have.
I wonder if, so in the Mojave Desert, there's occasional rain. I know it's a desert, but it rains occasionally. I wonder what would happen if you got those hot-ass mirrors and all of a sudden there was a rainstorm. I'm just curious. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. A small bowl in the tip jar. And guess what? Oh, no, never mind. Oops, hang on. Avocados Diabli says, if my son came home one day and said, I'm a girl now and you must call me one, I would call CPS myself and have them take him and wash my hands of it. I got more sperm. I could just make another one. That is defective. Oh my God. Sometimes you are just cruel. It's funny as fuck though. Yeah, we would be going to we would be going to counseling immediately. And it would be with a counselor of my choice, not the school's. Anyway, back to the story.
He said it could take years for Ivanpah to hit its annual energy goals. In the meantime, they'd use natural gas to operate the boilers. So much so that
Did you hear that? They built this giant solar farm and they use natural gas to run the boilers. Perfect.
they even needed state approval to increase the gas limit. Turns out the sun didn't shine as much as everyone hoped, and the facility could no longer compete with newer, more efficient technology. Today, Ivanpah employs 61 people, but soon it will be 0. PG&E ended their contract 15 years early, and Ivanpah will close 2 of its 3 units by 2026. For the American taxpayers, it's Solyndra 2.0.
Ding.
So I guess this is good news for the birds? What do you think?
No, the birds are all dead. Sorry. Anyway, Make Your Reason TV, and then the other video. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, this will be our palate cleanser just for the other stories that are on the books here today. In the Daily Caller, Jamie Raskin's threat to foreign leaders might have well been directed at Trump supporters. Remember, we showed Jamie Raskin talking about how, we'll remember this, and if you ever cooperate with the Trump administration, we're going to come after you when it's another administration. Well, the high-ranking Democrat, one of the 7 who was appointed in the House Select Committee investigating the events of January 6th, believed that protesters acted as full-on insurrectionists who deserved to be punished as such. In the years that followed, he didn't simply pay lip service to the Democratic Party's narrative that January 6th was the worst attack on American democracy since the Civil War. He truly believed it. Jamie Raskin has made a narrative a crucial part of ideology and how he sees his fellow citizens. Anyone who doesn't think that January 6th was the beginning of the end of American democracy, anyone who would continue supporting President Trump after such a catastrophic assault of the Capitol, is nothing less than a fascist. So it's pretty alarming when someone like Jamie Raskin makes such an ominous threat about someone else who disagrees with him politically. During that Pod Save America episode, Raskin referenced El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele and suggested that Democrats should keep score of foreign leaders who work with President Trump. Bukele sparked outrage recently after he told reporters that he would only help return illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia, whom the administration mistakenly deported, but argues should remain in the Central American countries. So basically, Jamie Raskin made a threat, and we know that Jamie Raskin wants to lead on being the enforcer of such threats should they ever come back to power. Fuck Jamie Raskin, but you can read the rest of the article yourself. Hakeem Jeffries pushes back on David Hogg's plan to primary incumbent House Democrats. He's not happy about that. There's going to be a fight between the traditional, establishment Democrats and the David Hoggs of the world, who happens to be the Democratic Party's vice chair. So, yeah, they're not happy with each other, and good. Let them fight it out, and fuck all of them. I don't care. I'd like to see David Hogg win that battle, though, because then they'll put some really crazy weirdos up. And then this is a great article. You got to read. I don't have time, but the battle is on for the soul of the Democratic Party. But sheesh, those contestants, like Andrew Cuomo, like Jasmine Crockett, like Jamie Raskin, like AOC, and unfortunately the sensible ones like Eric Adams are going to get pushed out. Kathy Hochul, I mean, all their lead, Gretchen Whitler, Gavin Newsom. Oh Lord, the contestants for the soul of the party. I have several other articles open, but I do want to finish on just something lighthearted and humorous. So we're going to finish with one video that we found on the internet, and it's hilarious. Apparently, the backstory here is well, here I'll let the interviewer start with the backstory as soon as I get this set up right. All right, here's the story. This is from Down Under. And I'm just saying, I think you'll enjoy this. This is a great story. It's a cute story. Here we go.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. 2 sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, oh, Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help. And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way.
These aren't
and
Brits.
Mum ran into the
They're Australian.
The fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when
I was going to stop this, but I can't.
Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were past our driveway. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your life.
Okay. There you go. All right, gang. And I thought, okay, are they Siamese twins? Do they share a brain? But no, they're just twins, and sometimes twins, I guess, do that. I've never seen it that severe, but there you go. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I hope you had a lovely time, and we'll be back for more of this tomorrow. It will be hump day, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to drop these links in the chat. Give me a second. Here are the links from today's show. There you go. There's the links. I'll drop them in the description. That's it for today. Gotta go. Thanks again, sponsors. Thanks everyone who liked the show and shared the show. Greatly appreciate it. It helps every day. Gotta go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.